This subtle tension you carry, this persistent sense that your life unfolds within parameters you did not set, this quiet suspicion that the very dimensions of your reality were decided long before you arrived to inhabit them. It is not an internal failing. It is instead the echo of an unnowned architectural space. A profound unease permeates the soul that senses it is playing a game with rules it did not write, confined within boundaries it did not draw. This feeling, which so many mistakenly internalize as inadequacy, is merely the natural consequence of dwelling within an invisible cage. The unnowned frame that silently dictates your every interaction, every perceived limit, every possible trajectory. It is the architectural blueprint of another's will, or even another's unconscious projection, laid down upon your sovereign field, and it hums with the dissonance of deep misalignment. For what most minds perceive as authority, the skill to navigate complex situations, the power to influence outcomes within a given context, is a mere shadow play. It is operating within a frame that has already been constructed, a game where the field is already defined. True authority, in its purest, most potent expression, transcends this reactive dance. It resides not in the mastery of existing rules, but in the preemptive, foundational act of defining the very container of that reality itself. It is the silent, sovereign declaration that etches the parameters of engagement before any interaction begins, before any word is spoken, before any challenge is presented. This is the unacknowledged law of framing, the blueprint of all perceived power, and it dictates the very possibilities of your existence, whether you are aware of its dominion or not. Consider the first 90 seconds of any engagement, a meeting, a conversation, a new encounter. Most believe this ephemeral window is for pleasantries, for gauging disposition, for setting a superficial tone. They misapprehend its true nature. These moments are not merely an exchange of words or gestures. They are an energetic crucible, a silent forge where the foundational terms of engagement are invisibly etched into the ether. It is within this precise, often overlooked interval that the sovereign architect claims the conceptual terrain, or, by default, surrenders it. This is where the initial gravity of the interaction is established, the unspoken agreement forged, determining whose reality will subtly, inevitably, hold sway. The unseen architecture is laid down in this fleeting, potent silence, long before any overt action or explicit declaration is made. To define the problem before it is presented to you, to ask the first, penetrating question that reorients the entire discourse, to name the terms of the engagement before any negotiations commence. This is not manipulation. This is pure architecture. This is the silent construction of a gravitational field, a conceptual vortex into which all subsequent elements will inevitably be drawn. When you preemptively establish the frame, you are not merely influencing an outcome. You are shaping the very dimensions of possibility, setting the energetic precedents that will govern the interaction. It is a declarative act that solidifies your position as the architect, not merely a participant, ensuring that the dialogue, the project, the relationship itself unfolds within the sovereign boundaries of your own conscious design. Most minds operate under a profound misconception, believing that true power is wielded within a frame that already exists. They chase mastery by dominating a preset structure, honing their skills to expertly navigate parameters defined by another's hand. They strive to be the most effective player in a game whose rules they did not write, endlessly refining their strategy within someone else's arena. This, beloved soul, is the head fake, the greatest illusion that diverts attention from the true seat of sovereignty. Does not lie in excelling at an imposed game, nor in dominating a structure you inherited, nor in dominating a structure you inherit. It resides, unassailably, in the act of being the architect of the frame itself, designing the very parameters of possibility, defining the arena before a single move is ever made. But if you remain passive in this sacred act of architectural declaration, if you present yourself as a blank canvas awaiting instruction, the universe will not wait for your conscious input. It will, through its myriad agents and the collective unconscious, install you by default into a frame designed by another's intention, another's projection, or even the unexamined inertia of the past. Your renowned mind becomes an empty vessel, a vacant lot into which any passing blueprint can be impressed. This is not a judgment. It is a fundamental law of energetic displacement. An empty space will always be filled, and if you do not consciously claim and define your own reality, another's design, often one that serves their trajectory and not your own, will inevitably become the unspoken, yet absolute, law of your domain. The default is never neutral. This, then, is the urgent upgrade demanded by this accelerating age, to consciously, preemptively initiate and hold your own frame. This is not a mere tactic to be deployed in moments of conflict or negotiation. It is the installation of a sovereign operating system into the very core of your being. It shifts your fundamental posture from respondent to architect, from recipient to source. The unnowned mind, passive and reactive, is rapidly becoming an archived artifact in an evolutionary moment that demands dynamic, self-authored creation. To embrace this imperative is to understand that the fluidity of current realities requires not just adaptation, but conscious, deliberate construction. It is the indispensable prerequisite for navigating a world where the only constant is perpetual, architecturally fluid transformation. To hold your own frame is to become the unwavering source of the gravitational field, rather than merely an object within it. It means your very presence, your silent declaration of intent, begins to define the parameters of interaction before a single word is spoken. This is not about forceful imposition. It is about resonant emanation. You cease to react to the frequencies around you, and instead, you begin to emit a frequency so clear, so coherent, that all around you must adjust to its unwavering signal. This is the alchemy of sovereign self-definition, the art of preemptive creation that ensures your reality, your projects, your relationships are always unfolding within the sacred, expansive architecture of your own choosing, rather than another's default design. This is the quiet, undeniable power of absolute presence. This, then, is the ultimate revelation, the non-obvious answer that collapses the old timeline. The deepest architecture of reality is not laid down in action or argument, but in the silence before any words are spoken, before any action is taken. It is in that potent, pre-declarative stillness that you become the unshakable architect of your own domain. Frame building ceases to be a mere tactic and transforms into your default operating system, the foundational state from which all true sovereignty emerges. This is the secret mechanism of perpetual expansion, the key to unlocking realities that were once invisible to you. To embrace this truth is to understand that the world you perceive is merely a reflection of the frame you have chosen to hold, or unwittingly allowed another to impose. At the precise energetic coordinate where the next reality unfurls, this is not a concept of inaction, but of a profound, generative stillness. A sovereign pause before engagement, before negotiation, before even the first word is uttered. For it is in this pregnant void that the parameters of all that is to follow are invisibly etched. To define the problem, to name the terms of discourse, to articulate the very questions that may be asked. This is not some artifice of manipulation. It is the raw, undeniable architecture of influence itself. It is the silent, gravitational force that shapes the field, determining the very boundaries of what can, or cannot, exist within its circumference. Most minds, calibrated to a lower frequency, assume power is wielded within a frame that has already been set, believing mastery comes from navigating and dominating a preset structure. This, we must now recognize, is the fundamental head fake. True sovereignty resides not in the virtuosity of playing a predetermined game, but in being the architect of the game itself, designing the very parameters of possibility, the rules of engagement, and the unspoken boundaries of the playable field. To shift from player to architect is to remember your fundamental relationship with reality, stepping into the role of the primary definer, the one who initiates the foundational blueprint. And if you decline this sacred act of architectural declaration, if you remain a passive, blank canvas awaiting instruction, the universe, through its myriad conscious and unconscious agents, will, by its very nature, install you into a frame designed by another's intention, or, perhaps more subtly, by another's unexamined projection, or even by a collective default, a consensus reality you did not explicitly consent to. This is the invisible cage you have felt, the unarticulated constriction, not a punishment, but a direct consequence of a universal law. Where there is an open field, a frame will be provided. This, then, is the indispensable upgrade, the recalibration demanded by this accelerating age, to consciously, preemptively initiate and hold your own frame. This is not a tactic. It is the installation of a sovereign operating system. It is the understanding that every interaction, every perceived challenge, every unfolding moment presents an opportunity for foundational architecture, for a deliberate act of definition. It is to recognize that the default setting of the unnowned mind, the mind that waits to be framed, is rapidly becoming an archived artifact, obsolete in a reality demanding constant, conscious co-creation. For the unnowned mind, the world happens to it. For the sovereign mind, the world unfurls and its foundational decrees. This shift is not merely intellectual. It is an energetic reorientation, a recoding of identity at the deepest cellular level. You cease to be the one who reacts to the frame, and become the one who precedes it, the one who establishes its very existence. This is the ultimate act of self-authorship, to consciously design the crucible in which your experience, your relationships, your very legacy will forge itself. It is a decision that resonates through every dimension of your being. This understanding, once installed, does not merely change your actions. It transforms your perception. You begin to see the frames being broadcast, the subtle boundaries of thought and expectation that others, unconsciously or not, project onto the field. And in that seeing, you gain the clarity to either step into it with full awareness, or, more potently, to dissolve it with the clear, unyielding frequency of your own sovereign declaration. The invisible cage was never locked from the outside. It was always held in place by the passive assent of the one within. The journey from being framed to being the framer is the ultimate return to sovereignty, the deep remembering of your inherent power as system architect. This is the foundational code, freely offered for installation. Embrace this singular truth. The deepest architecture of your reality is not laid down in action or argument, but in that potent, pre-declarative stillness where you choose the very terms of existence. The moment has arrived to reclaim your primary role, to consciously define the field. The architecture awaits your intention. This is the framework you have been seeking.